In today's video, we take a look at the Streamlight TLR-6 and ask ourselves, is this gym or junk technology? Okay, I dug through the Cruise random crap box and I found this TLR-6 by Streamlight. I don't want to say they're popular, but it's something that you commonly see mounted on small firearms on the internet by people who want either lasers, lights, or both. Let's see if we can find out why it was in the Cruise random crap box instead of on their firearm. I have the flashlight turned on. Let's see how it goes. Actually, laser and flashlight are on. You might be able to see the laser out there on the target cam. Who knows? Here we go. Let's see how it goes. First shots. This magazine I'm going to do based solely on the laser. Here we go. Okay, actually not bad. I'm just going to keep shooting based on the laser. Those last few I did off the iron sights. Okay, light still works. Laser still works. I'm actually kind of surprised. From what I recall, the reason this was taken off the Cruise firearm is the last time we used it before today, on the second or the third shot, the battery hatch would fly open, your batteries would fall out, and then all of a sudden you just had a paperweight on your firearm. So far, 2 magazines, that hasn't happened. Longtime viewers of the channel will know from the future times in the past that we've dabbled in the lasers on firearms topic that I'm not the biggest fan of lasers on firearms. I'm in the bucket who thinks, compared to sights like iron sights or red dot sights, that a laser slows you down because you have to eye hunt for where the dot is rather than having muscle memory to fall back on. And there are other situations like lighting or background colors or others where you might not even be able to see that dot to begin with. We're setting all that aside in today's video and trying to determine what good or bad qualities exist for the TLR-6 combination laser and light. In the past, I've shot a couple different versions of this laser light setup on a Glock G42 like we're shooting today, and also ones designed for the Kimber and Sig Micro 1911 style pistols. In those past experiences, they were less than stellar. On the first or second or third shot, the battery hatches opened, the battery scattered across the floor, and I was left with a paperweight on my firearm. Today's experience was, much to my surprise, the polar opposite. The battery hatch remained properly secured, and as a result, both the light and laser remained fully functional. In the range footage, you'll notice the laser bouncing around on the target like a rabid spider monkey hopped up on Mountain Dew. That's a byproduct of the cold weather and filming at the tail end of the latest polar vortex. Hot hand warmers only do so much after spending a couple hours in the cold. That the sight and laser remained functional after all that time in such conditions is certainly in its favor. Both the laser and light remained fully functional, and while my shaky hands didn't represent it, the laser held 0. Shooting in the cold and full bright conditions, the laser remained easy to see on the target, even against the red bullseye. While you can't see it in the full bright of today's range conditions, when assessing the light in the full dark of my house at night, I found the light to be bright enough to sufficiently light up my target area, while not being so bright as to dazzle my eyes. With normal and numb hands, I was able to easily use the buttons to turn on the laser and light. With practice, I think I could do it without sacrificing time. Before we get into the pros, cons, and final thoughts, let's head back to the range and see a little more of the G42 and TLR-6 in action. Okay, our final two magazines of the day. The G42 with a Streamlight TLR-6. You can see the laser out there maybe on the target. Here we go. G42 is probably winning the tight group contest of the day. These ones I'm aiming using the iron sights. Laser is still on out there. Yep, still on. I have 2 rounds left in this box. Let's load those up real quick. Okay, here we go. Final 2 shots of the day. Boom. And it still works. Good times. All right. I think my toesies are about tapping out in the cold. In the $100 ballpark, the TLR-6 finds itself in the relatively budget-friendly ballpark. As we saw in today's range footage, when properly mounted and the battery hatch properly secured, the light remains functional even after multiple magazines during less than friendly weather. Being drop safe for only 1 meter, combined with the style of the battery hatch, and I don't think the sight is designed to stand up to the harshest conditions and torture tests possible, but in the conditions 99.9% of the people will expect it to function in, it seems like it'll function for those individuals. When it comes to the pros and cons, for pros, I found the sight to be easy to install, and unlike some lasers I've tried in the past, like the Viridian on my LCP, for example, not having to take the sight apart to replace the batteries is a nice bonus. The ambidextrous controls are easy to use, and it is easy to switch between laser, light, and laser plus lights mode. To switch between modes, you hold down the button on one side, tap the button on the other. I found the light to be bright enough to see my target in the dark, but not so bright as to dazzle my eyes when switched on. For cons, if I keep this sight on my firearm, I'll need to purchase a new holster. The 1-hour battery life leaves a little to be desired, and while the sight is easy enough for me to see my target, I don't think it's the type of light that's going to disorient your target at the business end. The light also gives your position away in the dark. All in all, while there are some cons, I think so far the pros outweigh those cons, and it's trending more in the gym than junk direction. So while I'm not the biggest fan of a laser on a pistol, for those who either need or want one, the TLR-6 appears to be an affordable option that'll accommodate the needs of most. Well, anyway, that seems like the perfect spot to end today's video. If you like or hate the idea of a light or laser on a micro compact pistol, let us know why in the comments. If you enjoyed today's presentation, like the video and share it with your friends and family. Those things are free and they help the channel greatly. Fred and I really appreciate you getting this far. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day.